fit moving forward is outside of Milwaukee. So whether he's going to remain as a Milwaukee Buck or move on potentially, he's going to explore that. Obviously, his availability is something every team's going to be monitoring. But he's played 12 years there. There's a lot of equity there. And so he's going to have really the next few weeks to explore his options.
ESPN Sham Charania, NBA insider on Get Up this morning. Plenty of reactions to that report that Giannis, for the first time in his career, open to leaving Milwaukee, continuing all day here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, including Wilde and Tausch, starting right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer, Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Monday edition. Hey, we're talking to the coordinators today, so if you got any questions for Rich Bisaccia, Jeff Hafley, or Steno, pass them along. Unless that question is, do you think Giannis is going to leave? Edition. The NFL schedule week is here. We already know one thing. The Packers will not open the season against the Eagles, who both started and ended their season last year. Edition. But more significantly, Shams Charania reports two-time NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo has not made any firm decisions, but for the first time in his career, he is open-minded about whether his best fit is remaining in Milwaukee or playing elsewhere, league sources told ESPN edition. I'm Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, still working on Facebook, and YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free ESPN Wisconsin app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson's in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And our NBA insider, we'll have to hear what his sources are telling him from his undisclosed location. By the way, league sources, do they, if they're not Bucks or Giannis sources, don't they have a vested interest in playing up the idea that the great Greek freak is open to moving? He is the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. They do, but I think the Bucks aren't going to come out and tell Shams that.
No.
And much like you, are always trying to find sources on things. You can only go off of as good as what your sources will tell you. And I thought the way the last 3 seasons have ended and kind of where the Bucks are, this was the first time. Because, listen, man, we've been doing this show 8, 9 years, whatever it is.
9th anniversary
and
coming up.
I want to say probably since like 2020, 21. Even, after the Bucks won a championship, there was always, there has been a concerted effort by national media folks to get Giannis to a bigger market. I don't know why, but there has been. So I think I've always kind of taken that always with a little bit of a grain of salt. It's like, yeah, whatever. Okay, great. Giannis has continued to prove it by re-signing and signing the max extensions. He loved Milwaukee. He loves Milwaukee. This was the first time, and it really about March, April, and then when Dalla Dame ruptured his Achilles, that's when I started thinking, you got no picks, your team's pretty old, you're going to have a full season where Dalla Dame's not going to be available to you. This roster, if we're being honest, this roster, we saw it against Indiana. Blah. Blah.
Indiana might be better than we thought.
This was the first time that I thought there's going to be a lot of credence in what happens. And I talked to someone this morning after I heard all this news. And, I am not an NBA insider by trade. I enjoy the NBA. I still think it's about, let's call it 70% that Giannis stays in Milwaukee. As we
what is
sit
that
here
based
today,
on?
Sourcing. I made a couple of phone calls.
Well,
Tausch's
So,
league
and
sources.
obviously, it's not league sources. This is people close to or adjacent to the Milwaukee Bucks. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Not the
So
same sources
70%.
as Ben Brust on Packers
No,
to,
God, no.
to Ireland.
No. No. Now, what I was told is Giannis is more – I think there is we got to get some blank together. I think Giannis has always kind of went with it, trusted. He knows that what we're sitting on is not good enough. The thing I'm worried about, and Bucks fans tonight, what we should be worried about, we have to hope San Antonio does not get in the top 3. San Antonio's got 2 lottery picks. That's what makes me nervous. And I don't know,
Explain.
Shams puts this out. Well, because San Antonio has assets and will be willing to make a big move because they got a good roster there. They have Castle, who I think was Rookie of the Year. They got Wemby, if he's healthy. They just grabbed the cat from Sacramento, their guard. So they have pieces in place. And I don't remember who, I think it was Windy on Get Up this morning, was talking about how smart Giannis is about finances. And he obviously, with the Bucks ownership, I think he's learned a lot business-wise. Correct me if I'm wrong, the state of Texas has no income tax.
That is correct.
Yes.
Giannis seems to me to be somebody that, while he's made hundreds of millions of dollars, is going to be very smart about where he ends up going if he leaves the state of Wisconsin. The state of Wisconsin has pretty high state income tax. So I'm going to ask Governor Evers, I think we should waive the state income tax for Giannis. I think we should.
Just for Giannis or for all of us?
Yes. No, we give TIF money. Well, I'd love it for all of us, but that's a whole other topic for another debate. Property tax. I don't think that's more of a WTMJ conversation.
De'Aaron Fox, by the way, I think is who you're looking
Fox. What does the Fox say? I want Giannis.
He says Castle.
So I think we give TIF money. We are always looking to spur business and industry. I am open, if it keeps Giannis here, to waive his state income tax. I think most Wisconsin sports fans will do that. But this is the first time that I think there's some credence to these reports that Shams and other people are putting out.
Well, the Spurs would also allow Giannis to reunite with Sandro Mamukelashvili, who was briefly a Buck. So you got that going for you as I look at their roster. All right, so you're not panicked.
No, I'm nervous.
But you're nervous. Thanks to Sham's report this morning. Okay.
And I wonder from a fan standpoint, because I'm not so young that I can remember years ago, fans would say, well, he's under contract, tough luck. I don't sense that's how
like
Bucks
Elton
fans are gonna
Jenkins.
look at this. Like Elton Jenkins.
Yeah, Elton Jenkins is under contract. Tough luck.
Talked
Don't
about
be
that
missing-
Friday. Yeah.
Sorry, it's a callback to earlier this. Never mind.
ESPN Wisconsin app, bro.
Oh, okay.
So you think Bucks fans and Wisconsin sports fans will say, we understand? We get it?
Yeah.
They're not going to say, please don't go. What can we do? Can we call Governor
Well,
Evers?
no. I think everybody will. It's going to be the Kugler. I mean, I thought we had been done with Kugler. Kugler's going to be in play here. And it's
Elizabeth
gonna happen very
Kubler-Ross,
soon.
for those of you wondering what Tausch is
Kevin
talking about.
Kugler-Ross.
We will go through all 5 stages, but I do believe if Giannis, after conversations, feels like the best option for him is to move it along and to tell the Bucks, I'm not re-signing. It is time. I think Bucks fans will go through the 5 Kugler stages and eventually will come to acceptance that this is what will happen because of the greatness of what Giannis has done for this, city, state, and us as sports fans.
All right, so I don't want to jump to that conversation today. Like, will you be understanding or angry if Giannis forces his way out of Milwaukee?
I'm going to say this, Jason, for certain. It will be fans are going to be more upset with the organization than they will be with Giannis. I can guarantee you that.
So I think it's a really, really good question. I think it's the question because we don't know what's going to happen. So it is a hypothetical, which, as we know, Brian Gutekunst isn't afraid of hypotheticals anymore, so I can't wait to ask him some more of those in the future. But it feels overreactionary to be discussing the possibility of him leaving when you yourself are well-known NBA expert, still believes there's a 70% chance that he's still on the team, which is based on your sourcing. So I don't necessarily want to ask that, but at the same time, I am uber curious because I feel like there is something different about Giannis, and whether it's fair or not, we hold him to a standard of like Robin Yount, playing through the hard times to stick with the team so you can stay there your whole career. Leroy Butler, Mark Tauscher, Donald Driver. Like, we don't want him to be Paul Molitor, who leaves in free agency because Bud Selig can't pay him. We don't want him to be Lou Alcindor, who was traded to the Lakers because he didn't want to be here. And lots and lots and lots of great players across all the different leagues have gone and played somewhere else. But we feel like he should be different, which is not fair. But I know that I have Bucks fan friends, and I personally feel that way. So I don't know if I want to confront that, but I am curious. It's very easy to say today, when this story comes out, well, I would blame Jimmy Haslam, or I would blame the ownership group, or I would blame John Horst, or I would blame Doc Rivers more than I would blame Giannis, until he actually is traded somewhere else, in which case I am curious if people would shift when it became reality. Does that make sense?
Kinda. So I think there's a couple of things at play here. Obviously, ESPN is hosting the draft lottery tonight. You want to get a little juice. This makes things juicy, especially
very
here.
juicy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just because these reports come, the idea of Giannis, and I saw some of the, I think it was tweets or whatever platform Giannis and Bobby Portis were on. It made you think that, oh, Giannis is asking Bobby if he's staying. Well, that means Giannis is staying. Until I hear it from Giannis, I'll have some skepticism, but there's going to be a lot of smoke with that fire. There seems to be a lot of smoke this time around, and
which means there's more fire
Giannis
than previously?
Yes. Yeah, a lot more. Because of the circumstances that we're in, Chris Middleton is no longer here. Like, the core of the guys that he won a championship with, you're going to be moving along. So now it comes back to, as an organization, how are you going to approach this? And your fan base, I think you're going to see a shift from what we've seen in the past, and you want to look at Packers, or if you want to look back at the Paul Molitor, which I remember vividly because my dad was livid with the Milwaukee Brewers that they did not keep Paul Molitor. That was his guy.
At the organization, not at the player.
Correct.
So you're saying this could be similar.
I just think this is going to be looked at more from an organizational standpoint than a Giannis standpoint. I think Giannis, in this spot, I don't think fans are going to bemoan whatever decision he makes. I think we all want him to stay. We want him to chase another championship here. But I think we also look at it from a big picture standpoint. I can understand why Giannis would take a long, hard look at this and say, I don't know if this is in my best interest or in the organization's best interest, because if you keep Giannis, you're going to have to leverage and spend a ton of money. And I'm not sure what you'll get for that. You're not going to sit in rebuild mode and bring in a bunch of young players to surround Giannis. You're going to have to go and get a lot of high-priced cats and be in that luxury apron, whatever that thing is, for a
NBA
long time.
Insider.
And whether or not you're going to have any more success than you've had the last 3 years, who knows? But from my perspective, like, what I hope happens is that Giannis says, I'm staying. I want to win here. Okay. What I believe was going to happen, I don't think that's how it's going to shake out.
Wilde and Tausch, the home of the only NBA insider who says, and I quote, the luxury apron or whatever that is. We should make that a promo. So can I float one more possibility, and then we will open it up to calls. If you want to answer the question that Tausch posed in the hypothetical of if Giannis were to leave, would you be mad at him or the organization or someone else, whoever it is? I am intrigued by that. The Carbless Talk and text line is 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Can I – but I hinted at this in the open. I would like to float the idea that this is simply a chess move in order to make sure that he is putting public pressure on the organization and that they know that they are on notice to get their blank together. Is it possible that that is simply what this is, along with, and I do, look, I think there's, and I'm not here to criticize a great partner in the big ESPN, but do I think that ginning up some interest in the lottery by having this story break this morning is helpful to them? I do, and I think that's a fair thing to say. I don't think that that's out of bounds. But, Tausch, do you think it's possible, and we'll hear from Shams in a second, we'll play him in the next segment, but do you think it's possible this is coming in some way from Giannis's camp in order to make a public pressure point on the organization that, hey, I know the times are tough, but I still expect you to do everything that you could possibly do to make us a winner. Because I think we're a 5 or a 6 seed as long as I'm on this team, no matter who I'm playing with. But that ain't good enough for me. Is that possible?
Yes. I think it's definitely possible that we've seen this movie before with LeBron and some of the other stars in this league, that they're going to leverage these ownership groups to spend top dollar to put the best team around them. And I don't think anybody, the thing about that is, though, Jason, that's not been the problem. It's been some of the decisions that they've made. Nobody is sitting here saying the Bucks have been cheap. Like, we've heard that back in the old days. Well, they don't want to spend. They don't want to do this. The Bucks are in that apron, in that luxury tax setup for the last 2-3 years. They have spent. They have went big. You want to talk about opposites. Goody and John Horst. Fan base is looking at saying the Packers haven't went all in. That's all the Bucks have done, is went all in. And now sometimes you go all in with a pair of aces and you feel really good about it. Then there's other times you go all in with like a 7-10 offsuit and you're kind of like, boy, I hope.
Hoping for a straight.
I'm hoping for an 8-9 on the flop to give myself a little more love. And there's times that going all in is just, you're going to go bust, and then you got to go back and get a marker from the MGM casino or from Hard Rock.
Now you're starting to lose me. I just had the straight. That's you're going too deep into the.
Well, my point is, Jason, going all in just to go all in, it isn't a smart play. Going all in when you got the cards is the right play. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the guy blows an Achilles. Sometimes something else happens. But when you go all in and then all of a sudden you're sitting there and the flop comes ace-king and you're sitting there ace-king-queen and you're sitting there with a 7-10 offsuit, you're screwed. And that's when you got to go get another marker and reset. And then you're looking at your star player and say, why don't you reset with me? And he's like, I think I'm going to fly to Monte Carlo and go play there. My buddy's got a bunch of cash. I'm going to play there. That seems like a better option. That's kind of what we're looking at.
I did not see the Monte Carlo twist coming. So let's open it up to your calls and your texts. How are you feeling after seeing this report?
How are we feeling?
We'll play Shams' appearance on Get Up so you can hear exactly what he said. Not that you don't trust our own NBA insider, Mark Tauscher.
We've got Windy with some speculation on Get Up this morning, too, and it actually pains me to say that Tausch may have been ahead of the curve on something based on what Windy said, which is, well, I'm sure we'll hear that later.
Is this supposed to be helping or hurting?
Maybe he's on to something. Maybe he's our version of an insider. He's got what he's got,
Yeah, that luxury ape and whatever you call it. Well, whatever you call your windows, if it's time to upgrade, there's only one person that can help you, and it's not Giannis. It's Gina Della.
Gina Della, there is no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because Pella is offering up to 6 years. Be great to get Giannis to sign another 5-year, 6-year max. But with Pella, you get 6 years of 0% financing. Set up your free in-home consultation today, and you'll commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations to make it a reality. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. The deal ends May 31st. So visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. That is the carbless talk and text line. Less is more. We will hear from Shams Charania. At some point, we will also hear from Brian Windhorst. But we want to hear from you as well. Again, the carbless talk and text line, 844-770-3776. We'll continue this conversation And for those of you that come here for Packers discussion, we'll get to some a little bit later in the program. But more next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, a place I've loved going back to the days when I was a kid participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved Pizza Hut back then, and I love creating new Pizza Hut memories with my family now. And right now, Cheesy Bites Pizza is back at Pizza Hut. For just $13.99, you can get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. That's a lot of ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Ready to dip into deliciousness? Well, hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Cleveland Guardians.
Contreras fly ball deep right field. This is way, way back. Watch this baby fly.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
444-770-3776. That is the Carbless talk and text line. Liss is more. There is a poll in the field, which I'm assuming was decided while I ran up to check on my laundry.
I actually had nothing to do with any poll. So Jesse, good work.
It was decided. A council of one decided to put that poll in the field. Yeah.
Okay.
Quick question for you guys before
can I ask
we
the poll
delve
question?
into this. Well, yeah, go ahead. Ask the poll question, then I'll jump in with my quick question.
If Giannis were to leave the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason, who would you be most upset with? Your choices are Giannis, the Bucks, or I won't be upset.
Yeah. It's an easy answer for me.
The Bucks.
No.
I won't be upset. Giannis.
I'll be sad.
None of the above.
I'll be disappointed, but I don't know how any of us can
disappointed.
I feel like upset and disappointed are generally the same thing.
Hey guys,
if I don't care.
What's the defining characteristic of upset that doesn't relate to disappointed?
I do care.
Anger.
I understand. So I'm not going to sit here. That's an understanding. And I told you all earlier, I am, like a lot of fans, going to go through the process because it is going to suck. If Giannis leaves, we're going to stink. We're going to stink for a while. And that sucks. But how can I sit here and say, when the Bucks drafted Giannis, that we're going to go through the golden age, and this wasn't the case where I felt like our organization was lazy or wasn't doing everything in its power to build a team around Giannis to win? Is there anyone that can sit here in good faith and say that John Horst and the ownership group and everybody involved didn't do everything in its power to try and find ways to help Giannis win a championship? I don't know how you knew this team wasn't good enough. You went and made some bold moves. Whether or not they were great, I don't know. But you kept tinkering and trying, and you went and made the big move that brought us a championship with Drew Holiday. Then you saw, well, this isn't going to work. We need more offense. You go big and bring in one of the all-time 75 great players. That's a great scorer, and it just didn't work. For whatever reason, injuries, etc. So I can't sit here and act like I'm mad from either side of it because I think this is one of the cases where the effort was given on both accounts, and sometimes blank just doesn't work. And this might be one of those deals.
You would acknowledge now, obviously you didn't know what was going to happen with the Achilles tendon tear suffered by Dame. But you would acknowledge now that trade has turned out to be potentially, if Giannis leaves, the death knell for the organization.
Sure. Yes. And you know what's funny? It was the right move. Very rarely do you look back and have armchair quarterback syndrome and say, yeah, it was a disastrous move, but you know what? It was the right move. That's the case here. It was the right move. They went big. We always say we want our organizations to go big, take big swings, and go for it. They did. We got caught with a curve. We were looking fastball, and the curveball came, and we just couldn't hit it. We were Serrano'd. We got Serrano'd.
I mean, in fairness, what was the conversation after last season? Oh, he didn't get a regular offseason to prepare because he knew he was getting traded, and it took him a while to get indoctrinated into the system, and they changed coaches, and those all happened. But trading for him did not pay immediate dividends last year. Both he and Giannis end up injured during the playoffs. And now here we are a year later, he misses a significant amount of time. I don't know how the NBA, it's not my area of expertise, views veteran players and what is considered old in the NBA compared to, say, what's considered old with the Green Bay Packers, which I know is 30. That's when you're old. But now you're on the hook for $58 million next year to a guy with a ruptured Achilles who's going to be 36 years old. So maybe we didn't look at the veteran, older player a lot to give up to remake your roster. They took a swing, you're right, but was it a pitch? Was it a good pitch that they swung at?
Yes.
Or were they chasing because they were down 3 runs in the 9th inning and trying to hit a grand slam?
No, it was the right move.
Okay.
It was the right move, and it didn't work. So you can't sit here and say you want things done a certain way, and then when it happens, and because it didn't work, cry about it.
Well,
like,
is
sucks.
this
It
for Packers fans that want the Packers to go all in all the time? Is this the cautionary tale that Goody would say, "Look what can happen if you do"?
Well, yeah, you can always make that claim, but I think Packer fans would be fine, as we were when we went all in 2020 and 2021. Shake your head all you want.
They didn't go all in. No, you can't say that. They kept guys they already had.
You spent every last nickel that you had. Like, what else did you want them to do?
I don't want to get sidetracked, but I don't think Packers fans would agree with your assessment that they went
because we
all
didn't
in.
Win.
No,
because we didn't
win
it. If we won it, we would have went all in.
I think people view going all in as going out and acquiring people, not going all in as keeping people you already have. That would be my argument. And again, we can do that a different day. Jesse can write it down, and we can forget about it.
Trifecta meter of 2021 was a heck of a time. Remember that?
It was something.
That was fun. Pretty good run.
Jesse,
it's going to be a long time. Let me tell you something. Anyone that was involved with the trifecta meter, if Giannis gets traded, you can retire the trifecta meter. That thing is going to be sitting on the sidelines for a while.
It's been getting dusty for a bit already, but yeah.
Jamie in Orlando has not been involved in a while. All right. Tausch is going to tell us about UW Credit Union. Before that, Jesse, can you play what Shams actually said so people hear it before we take our calls from Annie in Oconomowoc and everyone else that's lined up on it?
Yes, sir. This was the big report from Shams earlier today on Get Up on ESPN.
Sources tell me that Giannis Antetokounmpo, for the first time in his career, is open-minded about exploring whether his best fit moving forward is outside of Milwaukee. So whether he's going to remain as a Milwaukee Buck or move on potentially, he's going to explore that, spend time exploring that, considering those options. And this is really the summit of Giannis Antetokounmpo here in Chicago. You have all 30 teams, all 30 decision makers here, agents here, and those conversations will be naturally substantive and free-flowing. He is the biggest domino in the NBA right now. He's a 30-year-old in the prime of his career, and his potential availability is something that all 30 teams, 29 teams outside of Milwaukee are monitoring. And John Horst, the Bucks general manager, he has reshaped this team multiple times, retooled this team, added talent, brought them their 2021 NBA championship, but they're going into this offseason really depleted on a lot of their resources. They have 1 first-round pick. They have eligible to be traded. They're not really a cap space team. They're very top-heavy as far as salaries, and we know there's that $54 million salary slot with Damian Lillard, and his performance next season is going to be in jeopardy because of that Achilles injury. And so all eyes here in Chicago are on Giannis Antetokounmpo and his future and what it means for potential contenders, teams trying to take that next step. Obviously, his availability is something every team is going to be monitoring. But he's played 12 years there. There's a lot of equity there. And so he's going to have really the next few weeks to explore his options.
Just so happens that it's when the lottery is being held and it's the summit of all the NBA activity tonight, apparently.
Is it
in
substantive
Chicago.
or
no? Yeah, that was. I'm not here to correct people on what word choice they make. That's correct. I did find the music interesting. I'm not sure what that was.
It was a good jam. Yeah.
Hey,
feel like I was...
so what is the proper terminology? Is it substantive?
Substantive. So, like, our partnership with UW Credit Union is a substantive, meaningful partnership.
Yes, I love our partnership with UW, and I am excited that I've jumped on board for every stage of life. UW Credit Union is here for every you, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They'll help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, "Oh, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Is it to keep your banking local?" Well, yep. Is it that member first service? Well, absolutely. Great perks like early payday? Yeah. But honestly, man, you just saw the graduation, saw all that stuff going on. Bucky, have that association with Bucky. Can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fan will make you do crazy things, but, man, this makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Get your Bucky card as well. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
All right, we'll get to your calls and your texts on the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Swing into the Bridges for the Ryder Cup Scramble. On Sunday, June 1st, play a 2- or 4-person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes of golf with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Only one way to do cocktail night right, and that's with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. For 4 years now, I've been telling you the only way I do cocktail night right at the Stroh household, and that is with my friends at Door County Distillery. Whether it's a bourbon on the rocks, an old-fashioned made with their cherry brandy infused with Door County cherries, or something like a rum punch with the weather getting warm, it's always Door County Distillery. Find it wherever local spirits are sold or visit doorcountydistillery.com.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is, I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Big winners are wanted this May at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, so saddle up and ride on in for the biggest prizes in town. It's all fixing to start at high noon on Saturday, May 31st. 30 winners will each be selected to collect a $1,000 prize. And that same afternoon, 3 more of our most wanted will each wrangle a $10,000 cash prize. That's $60,000 paid out in one day. Get your share of the bounty this May at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Waiting to see a general surgeon? With Stoughton Health, it's always easy access, with most appointments within a week. And with over 160 insurances accepted, you're covered and in good hands. For more information, visit stoughtonhealth.com. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN Radio. Will the road trend continue for Boston as they look to tie the series up at 2? Or will the Knicks push them to the brink of elimination?
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Slow down on Monday, not a sound. On Wednesday, might get loud. On Friday, but on Saturday, we paint the town. Lose my sense of time or 2 weeks feel like days. Medicaid in the afternoon, and I just want to know, have you lost your footing?
Let's get to the carbless talk and text line, 844-770-3776. Let's start with Ann in Oconomowoc. Fun word to say. Ann, good morning. Thanks for holding on so long. How are things in Oconomowoc?
Wonderful. Thanks for taking my call. I was going back to the interview that Giannis did after the game, and he said how he wished he could have won it for Dame. I think, or I'm asking one of you, don't you think that plays a role in his decision-making? Because obviously if he's traded, we're going to gut that team of their assets and trades and picks. And so I think he feels he could still win with Dame, even if it takes a couple years.
So that's a really interesting question, because I had not the thought of acquiring Giannis, Tausch, and look, they are not trading him for Jimmy Butler. First of all, they had a chance to acquire Jimmy Butler, and there was somebody threw that out there this morning. I don't see that. That does not seem like enough. That'd
be really dumb.
That Zion Williamson trade that was also out there that the Athletic put together that sent.
Like that.
Well, yeah, but it ultimately sent Giannis to the Spurs, if I remember. It's a 3-team deal. And as our insider suggested, this was not the case. They were not packaging an injured Damian Lillard to get him off the roster either. That was not part of those proposed deals. But to Ann's point, I am curious if you make this trade as the team acquiring Giannis. Obviously, you're going to have to pay a king's ransom, unless, of course, the Bucks are so nice and they say, well, if he doesn't want to be here, we'll just take the best available deal that someone offers, and even if it sucks, we're still going to do it because we love Giannis, which I would hope would not be the case. There is the danger of giving up a lot, and then it's Giannis and whoever his other guy would be, Wemby or someone else, that would have to go win it, right?
You take that chance 100 out of 100 times.
Sure.
So the question I was going to ask before you read the poll question last segment, I recall.
Oh, way to go.
And the question I have is, if San Antonio wins the lottery tonight and gets the first overall pick, are they really going to want to take Cooper Flagg, who is, by all accounts, a really good ball player, someone that could be a franchise guy? Would San Antonio trade him? And I don't think the Bucks would need more than that, but that would be an ideal starting piece for a team that doesn't have any draft picks moving forward. If you're going to go young, you have to get young players because your draft, you've swapped, you've done everything. You don't have a pick. You don't have anything. So that's why you have to get, if you're going to make this move, if San Antonio gets the number 1 overall pick, I look at it and say, I'm going to go get Giannis, even if I have to give up Cooper Flagg, because I have all this young talent. We need to get moving. You can only, at some point, you got to put pen to paper. That would be the move, and that, from a Bucks fan standpoint, would be probably the best case scenario if indeed Giannis asks out.
Can they acquire both of the top picks that the Spurs have? Or they could take Cooper Flagg and Con Knipple, and they could bring the two Duke guys here?
It's too much Duke for me.
Would you still attend Bucks games as regularly? Would you sit with Coach K when he came to the games?
I think the overarching thing here is if San Antonio has a big night tonight, all of us should think bad news stuff. For all of us Giannis lovers, that is the worst case scenario from our end. But it could also be the best case scenario from the Bucks end.
Houston also, right? San Antonio and Houston kind of in the same
I don't
boat.
love the. Yeah, I just don't know what Houston. Obviously, draft picks. You have to look at it. You need stars. Houston just got knocked out by Golden State. Does Houston have stars? Yeah, nice players.
They got a bunch of young players who could become stars. They're still early in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
All right, we'll get to more calls. And I do want to hear this windy clip that was described as Tausch possibly being ahead of the curve. So I'm very eager to hear that.
I like that.
I am curious. I'm scrolling through the YouTube commentary here, and among the comments from Rainbow Trout, which, I don't know, can you catch that on Casting for Kids? Are there a lot of rainbow trout on the chain of lakes?
Steelheads.
Lillard looked over the hill the moment he got here. For every good game, there were 2 crummy ones. Is that an accurate depiction of how that has looked?
You said this earlier. Dame didn't work like he normally does because of the trade. And I thought this season his stat line was pretty good. Now, if you want to get into how he plays defense and all that is another conversation. But make no mistake about it, he was brought in here to be a closer and a scorer. Something that Giannis needs, especially at the end of games. We've seen the hot potato act a little bit. Dalla Dame has been a closer. That's why they brought him in. They brought him in to help alleviate some of the offensive concerns that maybe a Drew couldn't do or didn't do on a consistent basis.
I get it. Well, we'll continue this conversation. The Packers coordinators are talking today. I do want to get to that at some juncture during the program, but we want to get to more of your calls and your texts on the Carbless Talk and Text line. I will also check in on Jesse's poll question because Jesse felt emboldened and empowered to post a poll without any discussion with either of the people's names on the marquee.
Both the people on the marquee walked away during the commercial break, so I didn't have anyone to talk to.
Interesting.
Took it upon himself. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Cleveland Guardians.
Contreras fly ball deep right field. This is way, way back. Watch this baby fly.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Road to success. Luke Fickell's Wisconsin starting out the best based off the win-loss column, but Colts GM and former Badger Chris Ballard arguing it's about big picture wins. Ballard's supporting words during his time on the Huddle with Barry Alvarez.
I thought he did an unbelievable job at Cincinnati. They were disciplined, they were tough, and they were edgy hungry. I believe in Luke. I think he's an outstanding coach, and he is exactly what the university needs, and he will have big success.
Listen back to this episode of The Huddle with Barry Alvarez and much more on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Make sure to come out to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. You know they got the best-kept secret happy hour in the Madison area with the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour. Myself, along with Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown of Jim, Matt, and Molly, will be out at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse before the Brewers game on Tuesday, May 13th. Come out, enjoy the show, and maybe watch a little bit of Brewers with us afterward. Jim, Matt, and Molly, live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton on Tuesday, May 13th.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Some breaking news from the National Football League.
Rodgers?
It is a quarterback. Per Tom Pelissero, the young Canadian quarterback, Taylor Elgersma, has signed with the Packers. So there you go. There's your Packers fix.
All right.
He was the only quarterback at the rookie camp. Live arm, I'm sure you read about it on Channel3000.com.
Nah, I skipped that one. I don't read about four-string quarterbacks.
We missed that one. I thought
Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah, Canadian fella.
That's how you put A in the title. That was fun.
I thought you said you missed it.
I saw the title. I just didn't read it.
Oh. Sounds like you missed it.
I read literally every other article you've put up there in the last week and a half, except that one.
All right, let's
Did you hear So obviously the news broke this morning that Philadelphia is hosting the Cowboys.
Correct.
On Thursday Night Football to start.
September 4th.
Oh, you're gonna get some sprinkling of some of the other games, and
Indeed.
rumor has it. I'm not gonna Ben Brust this and totally butcher it.
Oh boy.
Smells like the
Teen
Packers
Spirit.
are going to be in Pittsburgh on that Monday night to open the season.
For the opener?
Oh, wow.
They're going to open the season against the Fighting Steelers in Pittsburgh against
and
quarterback.
That would lend
juicy.
That would
Mason
lend, and
Rudolph.
it makes all the sense in the world that would be the case. So we'll find out if that is an accurate report. I think Good Morning America, which for the first time in forever, you'll actually be watching a show that will maybe give us something for the show. Well, what? You and the Palestinians and Israelis, you don't bring a lot to the show. Like I don't. That's what's on Good Morning America most of the time, right? Tariffs and trade deals and all this other stuff. You watch that. And
every now and then,
Strahan
goes in the kitchen and he's making eggs or something. That's all.
Yeah, Strahan's making an egg omelet.
Belichick was on this morning, I think. I didn't get to see it, but that's football. Yeah. They've been ramping up their sports coverage significantly lately on GMA. Thank you very much.
Was Jordan there?
Jordan.
If Belichick was there, didn't you say Belichick was there this week? Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the big
48-year difference. Yeah. To Tausch's point, tomorrow on Good Morning America, ESPN will announce some select games. So today, NBC on the Today Show, I think that's where they announced Cowboys Eagles in the opener on September 4th.
If I'm greeny, I'm irritated.
Also later today, or maybe this.
Why are you irritated? What are you irritated?
Yeah, why are you irritated?
If you're greeny, why would ESPN choose to do this on GMA with Strahan and Robin Roberts when he's got his own show to bring people in? Yeah, bring people in to get up.
GMA, more people
some
watch
numbers
that than Get Up, just not on this panel.
Yeah, get people to go to Get Up to see who the first Monday night game's going to be.
I'm not sure Good Morning America draws that many more people than.
Oh, come on!
No, I mean, what's the difference? I bet it's not a monster amount.
I will. In the break, look up the television ratings for Good Morning America vis-a-vis Get Up.
You are the only sports talk show host in the greater Wisconsin area that does show prep by watching Good Morning America. I can assure you of that.
I don't. Okay.
What?
Just continuing. We'll also get an announcement.
Netanyahu.
We'll also get an announcement today on at least on at least one Zelensky. Just start shouting names that you've heard on the news. Prime Video will also announce at least one game today as a sprinkler, as you called it. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow it will be ESPN on Good Morning America. Good Morning America. CBS will announce some games on Wednesday, and so will Netflix. So those will be the sprinklers.
I want the Packers on Christmas Day. I want the Packers Christmas night.
No, we've had so many Christmas games. I
love it.
Keep me far away from Christmas. I do not want to work on Christmas again.
If you two would
stop. Don't work. You just take off. It's not a big deal.
Okay, I'm not done.
What do you mean you're not done?
Also tomorrow, you guys, we'll get back to, for those of you that are enjoying actual Bucks adjacent talk, we will get back to that in the 10 o'clock hour, including Sparky's
Where's
on
John
hold.
Wesley when we need him? Where's the villain?
I will check in with him.
Let's go.
But
all right.
The NFL will also announce its international game matchups tomorrow on Good Morning Football. So we will know tomorrow if the Ben Brust report of Packers-Steelers in Dublin is going to be accurate or not. Now, I want to, again, defend Ben that perhaps the Rodgers factor altered what had been planned. I don't know if we'll get an answer on that, if that was the way the league was leaning once upon a time and then shifted after it started to look like Aaron Rodgers would be the Steelers' quarterback. 2 games in London at Tottenham Hotspur, 1 in Berlin.
Tottenham.
1 in Madrid, 1 in Dublin, another one in Sao Paulo, and then 1 more in London at Wembley Stadium involving the Jaguars. All right, that is your NFL schedule rundown. Again, the full schedule to be released on Wednesday evening by the NFL. We will get back to Giannis, and we will hear from Windy along with hearing from your calls and texts on the Carbless Talkin' text line in 2 minutes when we kick off the 10 o'clock hour. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no interest financing for 12 months. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote, with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Breaking news on ESPN Madison, brought to you by the Metro family of auto dealerships. ESPN NBA insider Sham Charania appearing on ESPN's Get Up earlier this morning, sharing this news ahead of tonight's NBA draft lottery about Giannis Antetokounmpo's potential future in Milwaukee with the Bucks.
Sources tell me that Giannis Antetokounmpo, for the first time in his career, is open-minded about exploring whether his best fit moving forward is outside of Milwaukee. So whether he's going to remain as a Milwaukee Buck or move on potentially, he's going to explore that. Obviously, his availability is something every team's going to be monitoring. But he's played 12 years there. There's a lot of equity there. And so he's going to have really the next few weeks to explore his options.
Reactions to that news continuing on Wilde and Tausch and all day long here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Baseball, the Brewers have first of 3 in Cleveland against the Guardians. 5:10 first pitch. Chris Davis Jr. announcing his college recruitment on Prep Mania tonight.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. One more tidbit on the National Football League. Peacock has announced that they will stream a live Saturday, December 27th game exclusively on Peacock. Now, again, I want to remind you, because the Packers had this last season, if you live in the Milwaukee TV market or the Green Bay TV market, you're okay. That'll be on over-the-air television in addition to Peacock. If you live in, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, not that I'm speaking of anyone specifically.
No, could be anyone.
You will once again be blank out of luck in your quest to watch the Packers play that game, if they are selected for that. And we don't know what'll happen. We're waiting to find out what that matchup is. But the league and Peacock did announce that is one of the games that they have planned.
And those rules apply for Netflix, Peacock, and Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and frankly, ESPN too. Now, I don't know. are some of the Monday night games on ABC, but not all of them. Is that correct? So if it's a Monday night game that's not on ABC, it is probably going to be on your local ABC affiliate anyway, because they are required to make that available to fans based on their rules. So, but yes, any of those streaming games. Hey, Aaron Rodgers on NFL Network in 2007 in Dallas with Mark Tauscher protecting his front side at right tackle. Mm-hmm. If you lived in Madison, the NFL Network was not even on the cable system at the time. So that was a big deal back in 2007
Chris
trying to track down that
Collinsworth
game.
And
Bryant Gumbel. Let's move on, as he would say on Real Sports.
Well
844-770-3776. We'll get to Sparky in a second. I want to hear, though, before we go any further, Jesse, what did Windy have to say that's going to make us think
do
once
you not
again?
like Windy?
No, I really
Windy's
like Windy.
Windy's awesome.
No.
I love Windy.
No, let me be clear. He did that thing, right? That
yeah, I know, but you kind of
going
had
on
that
here?
look for everybody that's not on the Jumbotron here. You gave that look like it was smug.
No.
You kinda did the-
Here's the issue I have with Windy, is that you presented this or Jesse presented this, correct? I have to be accurate. Jesse presented this as making you look smart and ahead of the curve. That's the only issue I have with Windy.
Is Windy the best?
I like Windy.
Heavy set analyst that we have.
How come every time we talk about Windy, you end up asking a question that's somewhere in this vein?
I respect the fact people don't put heavy set people on TV very often. It's just the fact. I watch Love Is...
for us. We put you on our Jumbotron every day.
Well, this is radio first, and then it goes digital is different than TV, by the way.
There's a bunch of games on Peacock and Netflix.
I'm going to get back to my point. Damian Woody, former player, heavy-set fella.
Kendrick
But I'm talking
Perkins.
about...
He's kind of heavy.
Yeah, but those are former players.
Barkley.
So it's a little different.
Shaq.
Yeah, I'm trying to say that's why I think Windy deserves even more love. Windy didn't play. Windy, I don't know what. Windy had a relationship with LeBron, and he's parlayed it beautifully. And you don't see. I watched that show Love Is Blind. I don't know why I do. Nary a heavy-set folk person anywhere. People don't want to see a bunch of heavy-set people on TV. It's just the way it is. That's why Windy deserves even that much more love. That's all I'm saying.
Jason, do you want to address with him that Love Is Blind is a streaming show, or should I?
I don't know what it is because I've never watched it. So I guess you'll have to handle that.
I'm too important and busy to watch that, but I'll watch Good Morning America and every rerun of Law and Order SVU ever made. Continue. It's true.
What did that heavy-set fella... I can't believe the two of us, of all people, are discussing heavy-set folks. What did that heavy-set fella...
If not us, who? What the heck are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, just the fact that...
It's respect. It's respect on my end.
When people
100%.
call you heavy-set, do you feel like they are showing you respect?
It's much better than what some people say. So yes, it's much nicer. Yeah,
big boned. Whatever you want to call Windy
Thick with 3 C's. This is another one.
I didn't need that. Didn't need that.
Whoa, Nelly!
Here.
Well, you asked.
No, I actually didn't.
No one asked.
You did not ask.
Here is Windy apparently making Tausch look prescient along with being heavy set.
Two things you have to know about the Bucks when you consider a trade. Number one, the Bucks do not control their first-round pick for 5 years. That means if the Bucks are going to trade him, thinking that they're going to tank for the next 3 years and rebuild is not going to happen. They need quality players. And the other thing that you need to know is if you're going to trade Giannis to a team that's going to be a super team, getting that team's draft assets is not exciting because they're not going to be very high picks for the next few years. So you're going to look at teams that have players to trade and other teams' draft assets that they can trade besides theirs. San Antonio and Houston, San Antonio and Houston. Pay attention there. And the other thing is Brooklyn, because Brooklyn has Phoenix's future drafts, but Brooklyn's current players, not that strong, not as exciting of a player acquisition. The other team to watch, the New Orleans Pelicans. Why would I say to watch the New Orleans Pelicans? Because the New Orleans Pelicans control the next 3 drafts of the Milwaukee Bucks. And if you're going to do a deal with the Bucks and you want to open the door for them to do a rebuild, you may have to go to New Orleans, try to get the Milwaukee stuff out of New Orleans, and then offer it back to the Bucks. Of course, the Pelicans could make their own offer, but I suspect that what they're going to try to do is a 3-team trade. All of these things will be clarifying once Giannis makes a decision and once we see what the lottery results are tonight.
I want all my picks back and David Putney.
Well, that's what a blogger told them to do, so that's what they did.
So, Jesse, why did you interpret that as Tausch being ahead of the curve?
Because the day before the Bucks were eliminated by the Indiana Pacers, Tausch was up here spending an entire hour of our show talking about how the New Orleans Pelicans were going to be the most significant team involved in the Bucks getting rid of Giannis and Dame and trying to reset the order in Milwaukee. And we laughed at him, and now here's Windy saying, keep an eye on the Pelicans. It's not to the same way that Tausch said that they're going to package Giannis and Dame to New Orleans.
Or so Zion.
We won't give him a complete win on this one, but the fact that Windy's saying the Pelicans are a key factor in this, I think is a win for Old T.
Okay. You can view that however you wish. I would like to continue this conversation. Let's take a call because I know Sparky's been waiting for a while, and then let's check out some of the texts we have, and then hopefully at some point segue to the Packers because I am getting a little hivey and itchy at the moment. Sparky, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Why do I always seem to call in the morning when you're talking about something like portly announcers?
Yeah, heavy set. Get it right. Come on.
Yeah, come on. I'm
okay.
portly.
Sorry. I'm doing well. I guess after having season tickets for 25 years, sitting through a lot of mediocre basketball, we always wanted our own superstar. We finally got one. So I would definitely be sad and disappointed. But, I'm old enough to have lived through the Jabbar trade and some others. And unfortunately, it always seems like the team trading the superstar doesn't benefit near as much as the team getting the superstar. So I'm not sure just how much that's going to change things. One of the things that I did think was kind of interesting was recently I got a call from my Bucks rep about tickets for next year, and it appears they're lowering some ticket prices. And I wonder if that's a sign that they're feeling some pressure. And that it may have just been for people with existing tickets. I don't know, but the prices have kind of gotten a little out of control, I think. And would that be a factor? The economic factor. I mean, it is a business. Would that somehow play into that? Would they maybe trading Giannis? Would they lose more fans than they get from the interest in a trade? I don't know. Would that matter?
It's an interesting question, Sparky. I don't know if I like the sound of that, and usually I'm very much pro cheaper tickets. Wonder what the thought process behind that is, just scaling back, or I don't know the details. We'll have to look into that. All right, Tausch, I understand that we're giving you a dub for what Windy said and what you sort of said previously, except you were also trading Dame along and you were getting Zion back. What do you make of what Windy said there, and how do you view this going forward now?
Yeah, I think you do have to get a third team involved because a couple of points. Milwaukee doesn't want to rely on wherever they send Giannis to get high-quality picks from that team. That's not going to happen. Giannis could be on this Bucks team. They're going to be in the playoffs every year. I don't really care who you put around him. If he stays healthy, he will your team to 40, 45 wins every year. That gets you in the play-in. That gets you in that, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that spot. And that doesn't typically put you in a position to win a lotto. So if that is the case, you're going to need to get creative. And Sparky's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to get your value back when you trade someone of this ilk.
Nope.
Just doesn't happen. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder got so many picks and got SGA, they figured a way to do it with Paul George, who, no offense to Paul George, not even in the same league as Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay? So how you go about doing this, I do think the idea of recapturing some of your picks from New Orleans, New Orleans going to stink. New Orleans is going through it unless they end up getting Giannis, pairing him with a Zion. And I don't know, I think they have some other pieces. I think they got McCollum.
Tartable, Griffey, pieces. Bonds. Yep.
No, I don't think that's the names. But anywho, that's where we're at. And you're going to, if you're John Horst, if you're making this move because you're forced to, and no other reason you would ever do this, you're going to have to get a haul upon haul upon haul back. And it can't just be picks for the team that you got unless you end up deciding to go the San Antonio route and you get this year's first-round pick. That is, I think, the only way you could salvage from a Bucks fan standpoint, you could feel okay about doing this because then the reset is in complete effect.
Tausch, I think that there will be lots of Bucks fans that will be either drowning their sorrows with Coors Light when the Bucks trade Giannis or hoisting them in celebration when he comes out and says, after careful consideration, I'm keeping my talents in the Cream City.
Yeah, I don't know where this is at as well, but you know what we were all drinking at Fiserv when they were hoisting championship trophies?
Coors Light. Yeah.
Indeed. Championship beer. Coors Light is brewed with that three-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp. It's only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, a Golden, Colorado.
All right, we're going to check in on the Carbless Talk and text line, the text portion, for those of you that sent in some text. We'll also comb through the YouTube comments, and we will see where our poll question stands. Spoiler alert, not a lot of people are going to be mad at Giannis, just as Tausch told us. The heavy-set NBA analyst that we have on our program told us that was going to be the case. That's all still ahead. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails are here for your flawless summer. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Drinking Carbless and watching the crew is already a win, but now that combination is about to get a whole lot better. Carbless is offering you a sweet night at the ballpark. Your chance to win 14 tickets with food and drinks included to the July 26th game is just one shopping trip away. From now until the end of May, head to your local retailer and scan the QR code to register for your chance to win this amazing prize. A flawless summer night at the ballpark awaits.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store in Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip.
Unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see, Green Bay is going to run this thing back, and you hope that these other guys will emerge.
Available in Apple and Android app stores. Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
All right, change of plans. This guy has a fast pass. He's been one of my friends for, when did we graduate from college? 30 years ago now? And he is my go-to guy.
He's not Jason's go-to guy if his internet cuts out entirely. All right, we have you back now?
Was that what did I? What happened?
Your video and your audio went out. We lost you on every.
Your best
I think
friend.
you need to get your internet checked up there in Green Bay. I think we got some issues going on there.
I'm not sure that's the case.
I'm
Nevertheless,
starting to wonder. Our cable's been out all weekend, and I don't think we need cable anymore.
Wait a minute.
No, mine.
You're the same guy that has been saying with all these streaming services, they should bundle them all up. And you know what they could call them? Cable. So what exactly is it that you want?
I want everything to be back. I want things to be, I get this for this. That's what I want. And I'm not getting that now, and so I don't even know what I want.
No,
but I know
the
what I
truest thing
got.
you've said in a while.
I know what I got ain't what I want, if that makes any sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I don't want to have 52 streaming services and all that. So I don't know. Some decisions to be made around this household. I'm not 100% sure where I want to go.
Dump them all and get a dog. All right, well, you said you wanted to hear from
That's
John
interesting.
Wesley.
That's an interesting point. Getting a dog and getting rid of everything? Just reading books?
I'm an idea guy.
That's something.
Hey, kids, we'll get you a dog, but you'll have to give up all streaming platforms.
Woof. What do you think my kids would say to that?
I think Eleanor
way.
would say yes.
No way.
I don't know about Max.
Dude, that YouTube Shorts is something else, man. Whatever they're doing, that is like...
You think we need to be doing it?
No, I mean, it's like there's some addiction stuff
Addictive, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I love it when Jesse sits down, by the way, and he looks like the little kid from
YouTube Shorts.
from Jerry Maguire. Can you say the human head weighs 8 pounds
Did
before
you know
we
the
get
human head weighs 8 pounds?
Have you seen, since I was on the interweb,
Oh, my God.
did you see those fun little clips?
Sorry, Wes.
Where they turn everybody into kids?
I
Like
have
Judge
seen
Judy
these.
as a kid?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
kind
these.
of want Jesse, pull us up and do that. Like one of our segments. That'd be fun.
I think that's AI generated.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's the world we live in.
I don't know how that works. All right, you asked for Wes to call.
Yeah,
Wes
John
has
West,
called, and now we're
let's get
discussing
to
how
it.
you both want all your television programming
Might go to
bundled
streaming
into one
only.
place, and you'd also like to get rid of cable. Wes, you are my go-to Bucks fan. How are you feeling today? And hi, by the way.
Hello, Jason. Hello, Tausch. Hello, Jesse. First of all, Tausch, I saw you at guarding. Wasn't able to come over and say hi, but thanks for coming out and supporting. Again, always good to see you there and have your support. Jason, to answer your question, today is the reason why I don't watch Get Up and First Take and
because you're watching
ESPN
Good
shows.
Morning
Like,
America. That's why.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I wasn't going to listen to anything today. And then a buddy of mine told me that my name had been mentioned, so I'm like, well, let me definitely call in. Like, I pulled up the clip of Shams. Talking about Giannis today, and basically in the same breath, he said, for the first time, we're hearing that Giannis is open to being traded. And then 3 sentences later, he said, in the past, we've heard that Giannis is open to being traded. And then I pulled up another clip from Canty and Smallman and Evan, where Canty says, for the last 5 years, the Bucks haven't done anything to prove to Giannis that they're going to win, where why would he have any belief that for the next 5 years that they're going to be able to do something and win, without referencing the fact that the Bucks won a championship not even 4 years ago. So it's like, this is the same story/narrative that ESPN has had for the last 7 or 8 years. And it's really ironic to me that it happens to come out on the morning of the NBA draft lottery, that basically they want to get eyeballs on the draft lottery. So what better way to have clickbait than to say, oh, for the first time ever, Giannis is open to exploring a trade out of Milwaukee, without actually knowing if Giannis is open to exploring a trade out of Milwaukee, because you haven't talked to Giannis about it. It's the same story over and over and over again that people are clicking on.
And to your point, if you listen to that Shams clip that we played earlier, he does point out that the entire world is in Chicago for this moment, and the timing of it, because now, as Tausch, I had not thought about the fact that San Antonio has 2 first-round picks that could be in the lottery. I didn't think about any of those things. Now suddenly, you've generated interest in the idea that, hey, look out, if San Antonio gets the number 1 overall pick, they might rather have Giannis on their team than Cooper Flagg. So I think you make a fair point.
Now with that, they're setting up the story to be whoever wins the number 1 pick for the next however many weeks until the draft. That is going to be the story that they can lead with until or unless Giannis comes out and says, I'm staying in Milwaukee. I've had trust in what they've done. There is money to maneuver, so I want to see what they're going to do. It's just like and I'm sure that there's a lot of Bucks fans that are out there that, that despise the ESPN national brand, not talking about you guys locally, but the ESPN national brand, because that's how they get Milwaukee, and the highlights is talking about that and not wanting Giannis to stay in the city of Milwaukee. It's a tiring argument. And then they don't talk about, I think Tausch talked about it, I think you guys have touched upon it as well. Like, there are no offers that have been out there that, number one, you're going to be able to trade Giannis to, and he's not going to be in the same position of being on a team that's gotten rid of their quote-unquote good players and surrounding him with all this talent that he's going to be in a better position. And number two, there's not an offer out there that you're going to bring in guys that are automatically going to have this excitement for Bucks fans and are not going to lead the Bucks down the road of what the Bucks were in the 90s and the early 2000s. Like, unless you hear this from Giannis and it comes out, or even his brother gets some sort of feeler out there on it, like, this story it's just a tiring story that exactly. It's a tiring story that the national ESPN media does over and over and over again to set up what their next story is going to be about Giannis not staying in Milwaukee. And it's tiring, and I think people are just sick of it.
All right, one thing, Wes. How concerned, not about Giannis leaving or going. I am curious, though, how concerned you are about what this team is going to be after going all in to acquire Dame and now him with a ruptured Achilles and probably not even going to play it all next season. How concerned are you about where this team stands, regardless of the Giannis conversation?
I mean, I've got concern, obviously, because, Dame, I don't think he's going to play all season long. So it's, what is his recovery going to look like, or if he, are they going to be able to move him or whatnot? So I have concern about that aspect, but I have more of a bright light in the fact of the young guys that the Bucks do have and getting those guys some playing time and seeing what they can develop and seeing if they're going to prioritize Kevin Porter Jr. or Gary Trent Jr. or what are they going to do with Kuzma's contract or the $20 million that are going to be open because I don't think Brook Lopez is coming back. I think there's more of a negotiating with monies that are available for the Bucks and people than they're talking about, than they're willing to talk about, where everything is just woe. It's a woe is me, and I think that there's more pieces that they could either bring back or bring in and fill some slots like they've done in the past, as opposed to if Giannis stays and without Dame, this team's going to win, 20 games and whatnot. I don't think it's this do or die. They're going to be so bad next year. So,
Wes,
but that's just me.
Yep.
We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the call.
Love you guys. See ya.
Wes.
And he loves the UW Carbone Cancer Center where he's.
Yeah, I think Wes is hoping that what he's saying there is – and do we think there's some promotional aspect to this? There's no doubt there is. Is there an anti-small market vibe that national media folks have? Yes. That has not been in play before. I mean, it's been in play, but at least from my end, I never took it serious. It's time to take it serious.
Mm-hmm.
This is a different circumstance than what it's been in the past. And I don't know, hopefully Giannis will go on Thanasis's pod and they'll talk through it and he'll say, no, I'm staying. If the Bucks do X, Y, and Z to make this team better, I'd love to stay here. If they don't, then it's time for us to move on. That to me is the best case scenario here. It puts pressure on the Bucks. The question I have is, the Bucks want to be great. Nobody can sit here and tell me that the Bucks haven't tried to be great. They have not made the moves to do it, but they've tried. But as Chili always says, don't confuse effort with results. Effort's great. The results have not been there. And if Giannis leaves, the game room's going to be closed. And it might be closed for a while. And there ain't going to be any clowns because the fun's going to end for at least an extended period of time. If this all can relate back to 3 Chili quotes. And I don't want to have to go down to Chili Road at this point.
I really do need to reach out to him and have him on the program. The game room may be closed, but our partnership with American Family Insurance continues to endure.
It does. American Family Insurance, proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. And for almost 100 years, they've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, we're going to get to your texts and your YouTube comments. I have enjoyed the parallel show that's been going on in the YouTube comments. Not sure if it's Milwaukee or Madison. I've been checking both of whether or not the Packers went all in 2020 and 2021. The consensus.
Thanks for
Jason,
that.
if I may.
You're wrong, and they did not go all in.
I'm wrong?
Yeah.
The Packers didn't go all in.
No. They didn't go out and get other people.
You want to argue?
You
want to argue with the dwellers? You go ahead and do that.
No, I do want to argue.
We'll
with
get
the
you a
We'll
log
do that in the 11 o'clock. We'll do that in the 11 o'clock hour. But guys, I'm going to say something here. We're all good here, right, Jason? I know.
So
I don't
you're
want to step
teasing
on
us
you.
out.
Us out. Yep.
Yes.
Even though we had said we were going to get the texts and YouTube comments, you've changed.
Well, we are going to get
stepped
to
the line
and
of
check
scrimmage.
the poll. Yeah.
You didn't like what you saw, and you're teasing us out with this audible. I step back.
Yes.
It is all yours.
I just read something on Twitter that may change one of my core staple beliefs on this show when it comes to streaming. I may do something I have said I would never do because of a move that was just made. I will tell you what that is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on May 20th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Baltimore Orioles.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in May 20th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Live the high life at Nitty Gritty, home of the famous Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Celebrate your birthday at Nitty Gritty and receive a free memento birthday mug to fill with free beer, specialty birthday cocktails, or soda all day long. The Nitty Gritty has celebrated almost 900,000 birthdays, and birthday celebrant number 900,000 will receive a $1,000 Amex gift card. Grab some friends and celebrate your birthday at the Nitty Gritty, located in Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie. The Nitty Gritty, a tradition since 1968.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Hey,
Want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are so back serving up our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your dinner is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, ready to eat for tonight's dinner. Or you can buy it cold, sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. You know, we love to make life easier for you. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Stop in your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
Spring is here. Time to get growing at Felly's Flowers and Greenhouse. Felly's has everything you need to bring your garden to life, including the largest selection of locally grown annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, and custom hanging baskets. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, Felly's Greenhouse in Fitchburg has the best selection to make your garden bloom. Proudly voted Best of Madison, choose Felly's Flowers as your go-to garden destination. Visit us today and grow with Felly's.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Before we go any further, Mark Tauscher is contemplating a major life decision that could change the course of human history, of our radio program, our digital program, and his streaming decisions moving forward. Again, I step back from the microphone and cede the floor to my colleague in Dane County.
Okay, so I've been very adamant. I think that, how all of this disruption in the digital cable space, Netflix, Disney, Amazon, Apple, it's just nonstop, right? With some of us old schoolers, we've been cable. And I lived with Netflix. Netflix is fantastic. I've had no problems with ESPN/Disney. They're a great teammate, partners of ours, so no problem. Where I drew the line was Peacock. They kind of did a bait and switch on Saved by the Bell with me, which really irritated me. And that is where I put my foot in the ground and said, no more! We are not doing, even though the Badger football and basketball teams are everywhere on Peacock. They have playoff games. I have went so far as to say I would go to Jesse's house to not watch and get Peacock. But then this announcement this morning just came out. And I have to really revisit and think about one of my core principles that I will never get Peacock in our house because they just landed the GOAT of GOATs to be part of their special correspondence broadcast team in covering the NBA. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is going to be doing some analyst work for Peacock. And they're also bringing back John Tesh's song, Round Ball Rock. They might force me into breaking one of my commandments and jumping in and getting Peacock. And that shtick will now be over because of the Michael Jordan signing.
Oh, my
That's how
God.
strongly I feel about that.
Wow. I'm not sure how many times I've been this underwhelmed by your life-changing announcements. First of all, just for those of you who are wondering, I looked it up. Good Morning America averages 2.5 million viewers per program. Get Up averages 382,000. Second, just to be clear,
doesn't include the sports bars.
Packers playing games on Peacock in your town where you are not able to access it over the air television. was not enough for you to get Peacock, nor were Badger basketball games, even though the men's basketball team is the only basketball team you pay attention to until Wake Me in March.
Yep.
Big win over Arizona last year.
And they have like 8 or 9 or 10 games a year now on Peacock.
At least.
If Saved by the Bell came back to Peacock, that wouldn't be enough to bring you a subscription. You're telling me that occasional opinions on the NBA from Michael Jordan and the return of Round Ball Rock, which I believe is played on other NBA coverage.
Not anymore.
Good song, though.
And is also available with your Spotify account, where you can also find the podcast of Wilde and Tausch. This is now, of all the things that could have gotten you to sign up for Peacock, this is it, huh?
Yes. Yep.
What is Michael Jordan going to say that you will then hear him say, and you'll go, you know what? I'm so glad I ponied up for Peacock. I don't get it. You wouldn't get it for Badger basketball. You heard
Correct.
John Wesley just mention you were at the Guarding Against Cancer event. You love Gardo. His team plays.
Yep.
They were a very good team this year. None of these things got you.
Fun team.
The Packers playing on Peacock to open the season in Brazil. Not enough.
Yeah.
Jordan as an analyst?
Yes. And Round Ball Rock. Yes.
Not even
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
not even an analyst, a special contributor.
That sounds like a not very often appearances.
It's like when Turner Sports says Gretzky's on their NHL stuff, and he does like 2 games a year and then the Stanley Cup final every other year when they have it.
Can you imagine, and I know Barkley is going to be doing stuff with ESPN. Can you imagine Barkley and Jordan doing like some commentary together? I'm in. I'm in.
If Jordan hasn't done this yet, is it possible that Jordan might just not be very good at it?
Ooh.
Brady's not very good at it.
Brady's fine.
Brady's fine. Yeah, Jordan will be fine. I bet Barkley's better at commentary.
Well, great way to jump out on that limb, Jesse. Guy's the GOAT when it comes to commentary. You don't think people want to hear Michael Jordan has been scarce. He isn't given his opinion on everything. He limits what it is. So when he decides he's going to speak on topics, it is going to be even more meaningful. That's why I think this is as bold of a move as it is. I love it, and I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. It was dead to me. Peacock has now been Lazarus-ed. It has been Lazarus.
It was what?
Lazarus.
Okay.
Lazarus. It has risen. It is no longer dead. Exactly. Exactly my point.
All right. We need to play trivia. I'm sorry. That was fundamentally anticlimactic. Am I wrong,
Oh, I
Jesse?
disagree.
Am I wrong?
Jesse?
You're gonna cave on something that you have fought the power on for ages.
Yeah, well, it's only been
because
in
of
play for
Jordan
4 or 5 years, but
as a part-time occasional analyst.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not buying he's going to do it.
I'm not saying I'm doing. I said I am going
I think
to.
he's only got one
really
toe in the
think
water.
about it.
Yeah, he's not really committed to going in this pool yet.
All right. Maybe I can't see this happening even with binos from Vortex Golf. All right, time for trivia.
I bet the first time Jordan's on, I'll say, hey, old T, come on over. Let's have a Coors Light and check it out in the basement. And he'll say, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, sure. And then he'll come over and
he'll say, wait, Jordan was on. I missed it.
Yeah.
It's the first I've heard of it.
What's he doing on a Hornets game? It's November.
Jesse, what's today's category and which caller would you like?
It's the Sports Weekend Recap.
Okay. Sports Weekend Recap may or
I
may
would
not
think
include...
Ahmad Rashad would have to be in play on this then, too. That was his boy.
That was his
Ahmad
guy.
Rashad.
No doubt about it. Caller 23 in honor of Michael Jordan making a comeback on Peacock. No, we're not doing that. We'll do caller 5. Caller 5, 844
It's a lot less.
770. Yeah, I'm not going to do that to you. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Vortex Golf, which, again, we gave it away last week. We'll give it away again on Friday. A rangefinder and a swag bag from Vortex Golf. Caller 5 right now plays today's game of trivia, 844-770-3776. That takes the place of Take It to the Bank, presented by Associated Bank, but nothing will replace Associated Bank with us. They've been with us from the beginning, almost 9 years ago. Associated Bank is your local bank. That's what makes them local. It's their branches. It's their roots, not their branches. And more importantly, it's their great customer service. I experienced it again the other day when I needed some help from my buddy Ben Sorensen. He made sure it was taken care of. That's what you get with Associated Bank. You can also get Packers checking, Badgers checking, and Brewers checking from Associated Bank. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Trivia next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhaffel's Memorial Day mattress sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable base sets, plus get up to $300 in Steinhaffel's cash only at Steinhaffel's. Road to success. Luke Fickell's Wisconsin Star not the best based off the win-loss column, but Colts GM and former Badger Chris Ballard arguing it's about big picture wins. Ballard's supporting words during his time on the Huddle with Barry Alvarez.
I thought he did an unbelievable job in Cincinnati. They were disciplined, they were tough, and they were edgy hungry. I believe in Luke. I think he's an outstanding coach, and he is exactly what the university needs, and he will have big success.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison, because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. They have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s are Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Get ready for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon Golf Outing on Friday, May 30th at Old Hickory Golf Club in Beaver Dam. Registration's at 11 a.m. while 12 p.m. marks the shotgun start. It's only $350 for a foursome with 2 carts and a lunch for 4. The registration deadline is May 16th. A form and more details are available at dailydodge.com. All funds raised through the day will benefit the 2025 Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Monday on Joe and Q, the Celtics are trying to keep their season and repeat hopes alive at Madison Square Garden.
And one NBA team is about to get very lucky when the ball bounces their way in the draft lottery.
Joe and Q, the ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
But I woke up for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find. And as
I know we've been NBA Central throughout today's program, so for those of you who are tuning in for more NBA coverage, I believe we have, Celtics-Knicks tonight in New York. Knicks lead that series 2-1, and Timberwolves-Warriors in San Francisco. Minnesota leads that one 2-1. The other series, the Pacers, who we don't like on this program.
Looking good, though.
Lead the Cavaliers now 3-1.
Yeah, Jelly's little Hard Rock wage is looking pretty good.
Meanwhile, the Nuggets and Thunder are now even at 2 games apiece. All right, let's play some trivia. Let's welcome in Jerry in the Prairie, longtime friend of show, longtime contestant. Jerry, good morning. How you been, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Splendid. That's the word. Tausch, did you want to participate in this at all, or you want me to handle things?
Go for it, buddy.
Thank you.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
So let's play trivia presented by Vortex Golf. Check out their rangefinders and their binos when you have an opportunity. Question number 1 is this. What item did the Tampa Bay Rays give to fans on Saturday in celebration of the first home rain delay in franchise history? Were they ponchos, rubber boots, or plane tickets to Nashville?
Ponchos.
Steinbrenner Field with a rain delay, apparently. And they did get ponchos, indeed, as they continue to not play at Tropicana Field with a dome. Question 2, Jerry, is this. Which Major League Baseball team entering play today with an overall record of 7-33
Woof.
fired its manager following a 21-0 loss
Woof.
on Saturday night? Were
Colorado.
those they're even worse than the White Sox on pace for even
bad.
fewer wins.
I had somebody, I don't know where I heard this, but someone brought up the idea of the small market baseball teams all being in its own division. And I like that idea. You put all the big boys in one, all the little guys in another one, and then you can start relegating some of the smaller market if they don't kind of up the ante, and you could kind of play it off that way. I like it a lot.
My favorite part of this Bud Black story, which I don't usually come across the Major League Baseball comings and goings, was that he's a big mentor to who's the manager? Is it Dave? Jesse, you're not helping me.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Dave Roberts, the
Dave
Dodgers.
Roberts.
Oh,
yes.
with the Dodgers.
And
Sure.
his line I saw was, I don't think Casey Stengel could change the outcome of that ball club. It's not the manager's fault. Which I thought was a pretty good line.
It's almost like Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah, and I got to go see about a girl.
No.
Baseball
It's
connection.
not your fault. No, I know.
Or who was...
no, it's not your fault.
Winston.
Yeah, I know.
Winston Moss, I can't help
Great
you.
line.
I can't help you. Indeed. All right, question 3. Entering play today, Jerry. Which of these NHL teams remaining in the Stanley Cup playoffs does not hold a 2-1 lead in its current second-round series? So 2 of these teams hold a 2-1 lead in their series. 1 does not. Is that team the Carolina Hurricanes, the Dallas Stars, or the Vegas Golden Knights?
That'd be the Golden Knights.
Wow. You're locked in.
Got it.
Well done.
His cable wasn't out
guys
this
are-
weekend. He probably
Jesse was bound to ask the right questions at some point.
Yeah, you've had some days where he did not help you, that's for sure. All right, well, you're 3 for 3, which means you got 4 entries into Friday's drawing, and there's no better time to have 4 entries than when we're going to be giving away yet another Vortex Golf range finder and
Jerry earned it.
Swag
Jerry should
bag.
win this.
All
Jerry
right.
should win this.
Great prize.
Jerry will have just as even a chance as anybody
No, I
throughout
know.
the course of the week.
I'm not saying it's going to be tinkered with. All I'm saying is Jerry's been here for a long time. This is a very sweet package that Vortex has put together. I'm going to pull. I'm going to say this. I don't know who the other 4 contestants will be. I'm pulling for Jerry this week.
This is exactly why, since it is
Thanks,
such a
Tausch.
great prize pack with our friends at Vortex, this is exactly why we are playing fairly and squarely and not providing any opportunities to manipulate the drawing.
What you're saying is
Old
this
T.
is why Tausch is really just not going to participate and just sort of sit on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's just going to cheer for everybody, depending on what day it is. Yeah.
Not everyone gets a trophy. Not everyone gets a Vortex Golf rangefinder and swag bag. Thanks, Jerry. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks. Love you guys.
I love you guys.
One
Love
thing,
Jerry. Warrior. He's a trivia warrior.
Much like
Jerry.
Warrior?
Much like Michael Jordan will be on his frequent appearances on Peacock, providing analysis. Tausch, before we move to the 11 o'clock hour, would you be kind enough to tell us about Quick Trip?
I would, and life's busy. Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're craving that fresh coffee, a tasty bakery treat, grab-and-go meals, Quick Trip is your go-to. And it's Monday. You know what Monday means. Rotisserie Chicken Monday. $6.99. I still want people to challenge themselves. How many meals can you make out of that rotisserie chicken? I think I set the over-under at 3.5.
Get a bag
I
of
know
soup.
you can have, obviously, a nice meal tonight with the chicken. Then you can make enchiladas. And at worst, you're going to make a soup with the leftover. You got the bone. You can make a good broth. I think you can do 3 to 3.5 meals. That's what I think. Yesterday was Mother's Day. They had a nice promotion there. There's always something at Quick Trip. Chicken is today. You got Quickery count, 8 count for $2.99. Bananas and jumbo onions, baked potatoes, 29 cents a pound. And, of course, download the Quick Rewards app. You can take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. Order ahead for pickup, or you can get curbside delivery. Quick Trip will see you next time.
What are you laughing at him about?
We all have those moments where it's not quite as smooth as we would like it to be. That's all. I just
Like
found
what?
it amusing. Nothing. Am I not allowed to laugh? Am I not
You
allowed
can
to
laugh, but you can explain your laughter.
Meanwhile, Michael in the YouTube comments hates trivia with such a passion that he at least claims to leave the YouTube channel until trivia is over.
Really?
Is trivia over yet? This crap was Jesse invented, just so you all know.
That's got to be that Michael that really doesn't like me.
I don't like trivia.
Here's the thing.
I think it's fun.
I don't think he likes any of us.
Why is he here?
That's all right.
He doesn't like
No,
Tausch.
I like hate watch. I like hate watching.
He says
I don't
I'm his
mind hate
favorite
watching
beat
and
writer,
hate
but he hates me too. I don't know. He's got some anger issues in the YouTube
Hate
comments.
is a strong emotion, and it's our job to turn that hate into love. And we will get there.
Michael,
it might take a while.
Here, he says, I hate Peacock almost as much as I hate ESPN. What are you doing watching the show?
I wonder what he loves.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Michael, give us
Long
in the
walks on the
YouTube
beach.
comments, give us your top 5 things you love. We
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I like
Give us
that
your top
idea.
5 things you love, and we'll share.
All right. Well, I don't know if he's back in the YouTube comments or not, but I'll have to let him know.
Well, trivia is over, so you should.
The 11 o'clock hour.
It's
of
like
Wilde
that
and Tausch.
author said, that book that I'm trying to get.
Bob Moore.
Let him. Let him. No, it's called Let him. You just let him. Oh, so-and-so's rude
that
to
by
you.
Jocko?
Let him. Oh, I don't.
Okay.
Kind of
I'm
the
sorry.
same principle as Jocko.
It does seem to cover the same ground. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Only one way to do cocktail night right, and that's with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Strofe. For 4 years now, I've been telling you the only way I do cocktail night right at the Strofe household, and that is with my friends at Door County Distillery. Whether it's a bourbon on the rocks, an old-fashioned made with their cherry brandy infused with Door County cherries, or something like a rum punch with the weather getting warm, it's always Door County Distillery. Find it wherever local spirits are sold or visit doorcountydistillery.com.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. Breaking news on ESPN Madison, brought to you by the Metro family of auto dealerships. And the breaking news today from ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania. He joined Get Up to share this report about Giannis and his potential future in Milwaukee with the Bucks.
Sources tell me that Giannis Antetokounmpo, for the first time in his career, is open-minded about exploring whether his best fit moving forward is outside of Milwaukee. So whether he's going to remain as a Milwaukee Buck or move on potentially, he's going to explore that. Obviously, his availability is something every team's going to be monitoring. But he's played 12 years there. There's a lot of equity there. And so he's going to have really the next few weeks to explore his options.
NBA Draft Lottery is tonight. Reactions to that report all day long, continuing here on 100.5 ESPN. Baseball, the Brewers start a 3-game set in Cleveland with the Guardians. 5:10 first pitch. Pregame coverage starts at 4:30 after Jim, Matt, and Molly here on 100.5 ESPN. Jim, Matt, and Molly continues until 5 o'clock, streaming on YouTube.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hour of Wilde and Tausch starts right on time at 11:12. Michael has returned to the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel. Gesundheit.
I had my mic off. You shouldn't have been able to hear that. I sneezed with my mic way up.
And your shirt and your shirt covering your face.
I tried.
Now, what happens with the... anyway. I love Tausch and Jason, and I love wine, women, and song. Well, there's your 5. Jason, wine, women, and song for Michael.
Well, there you go.
See? Happy
Pretty
guy. Sports, music, love, peace, and happiness also. Jesse, just for you. So see, Michael, all full of happiness.
A lot of things. That's good.
I am happy today because at long last, we get to talk to the coordinators who we have not spoken to since before the loss to the Eagles in the NFC Wild Card playoff round. I personally would lobby for an opportunity to talk to them after the season right away and get their thoughts on how the season went, but that's not how things function over there at 1265, so this will be the first time. I am curious, Tausch, what is top of mind for you for Steno, Rich Bisaccia, and, of course, my guy, Jeff Hafley?
I think when the big question mark, I think, for me is, does Jeff Hafley think this defense as currently constructed is going to be how much better than last year? And the reason I would ask that is because I think fans look at what the offseason brought, and it wasn't the moves that we all were anticipating to make this defense better. I think it just reaffirmed my belief when we talked to LaFleur up at the draft. He feels really good about where this defense is, like really good, to the point where you and I both knew they were drafting offense in the first round. Like, that's the vibes he gave out, and that was the result that ended up coming. So where Hafley looks at what's going to be the biggest improvement points for this year's defense, and I'm guessing his big response is going to be Edgerrin Cooper. I think he is banking on a big boy season from Edgerrin Cooper, and when you add that layer to it, this defense, which, by the way, at the end of the season last year was really good, I think he's looking at this defense being more consistent and even better than what they were last year.
I am also curious what more there is out there for the pass rush, and the fact that they did add pass rushers in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round, right? They added Baron Sorrell in the 4th round, Colin Oliver in the 5th round. Those two guys are defensive ends in their system. And then Warren Brinson in the 6th round, an interior lineman. Goody says 4th-round picks are premium picks. I'm not sure I agree. They're certainly important. I'm not saying they're not. But when I think of premium picks, I think of day one and less or so day two. And that's when they added these three guys to that mix. Goody came out and said very clearly throughout the offseason that he believed they had what they needed in terms of a pass rush. They did not reach for one on day one or day two in terms of an edge rusher. So I'm eager to see what Jeff Hafley thinks. But you're right, and I go back to what Matt LaFleur said, and I'm going to go back on the ESPN Wisconsin app to listen to that again to hear exactly what he said about the defense, because you're not wrong. The two things that were noticeable, and by the way, if you don't have the ESPN Wisconsin app, that's where the entire interview with Matt LaFleur that we had at the Tundra Trio on the Thursday of the draft, right before they picked Matthew Golden. One was how he felt about the defense. Two was he had this sly, smirky vibe that I think he thought he was getting a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe I read him wrong, but he ultimately did get a wide receiver. In fact, he got two of them. He got another one the next day. So I am curious from a pass rush perspective, because we spent some time late last week. I don't think it's wrong, if you're a fan or if you're a beat writer, to say that it is time for Rashawn Gary to play like the guy who got a $96 million contract. I don't think that's harsh. I don't think that's overly harsh criticism of him. And we've given him the ACL explanation. I don't want to say excuse, but he did that during the 22 season. He came back in 23 and played the entire season. It was quick turnaround. He'd been injured in November. But last season, Then the explanation / excuse was, well, now they're in the new system. I think we're out of explanations for him now. It's time for him, if he's ever going to be elite, now's the time for him to do it. And we'll see if that occurs. I know that there are going to be fans that want me to get after Bisaccia.
About what?
I don't know. Fans are always frustrated with special teams. They have a kicker who isn't going to miss all the time. We don't know what the return game is going to look like. We don't know if Keyshawn Nixon will indeed be CB1, and if so, if that'll be the end of his return work, if Savion Williams is going to do that, if Mecole Hardman is going to do it, if Jaden Reed is going to do it. So there's some questions there, and they have had some changeover once again in terms of their personnel on special teams. No more Ballantyne, no more Robert Rochelle, no more Eric Wilson. They did bring Christian Welch back. But again, I'm amazed, and maybe this is just me. I know they like to call it we fence and make it sound like it's a third of the game, which I know is what is preached. But I feel like the Packers fan base cares more about special teams than most other fan bases, and it's primarily because it's never very good or never good enough. No. Is that fair or is that unfair?
No, I think that's just you being here and covering the team extensively. I think if you ask Bears fans, they look at the we fence as being a big part of what they do. Yeah, I think if you look at what Baltimore does or the Eagles do, or
I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about the fan base. Do you think Bears fans are really interested in their special teams work?
Yeah, because that usually is a big part of how they score.
Because they can't score
so
offensively.
I actually think Green Bay has looked at special teams in a don't screw it up fashion much more than, especially when you've had two quarterbacks of the caliber of Favre and Rodgers. I think most Packer fans have looked at it, and I can remember when Mike McCarthy said, just fair catch it, just take the touchback, get the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands. And that mentality reeks through a locker room, and it might be part of the conundrum that you leave with an average to below average special teams, because you get what you emphasize in coaching. And when your coaches are saying certain things, players hear that and they say, yeah, we're an afterthought. Don't screw it up. And everybody that knows anything about sports, the moment you start looking at, well, just don't screw it up, it's when you screw it up. You need to be in attack mode, and we are going to make a difference. We are going to be a part of the solution and not just don't become a problem. I think when you have the attitude of that, that's what Bisaccia has tried to instill. And I think with some of the success we've seen with Keyshawn Nixon, and now you hopefully have a kicker that you feel comfortable with, instead of, oh boy, do we have to go for it on fourth down because we don't trust our kicker. Those days are gone. And I think that's putting Bisaccia in a much better spot to have a better season on the special team side of it.
I have some requests in the YouTube comments to discuss Taylor Elgersma some more. I also want to ask you.
Hey.
Don't you know?
Take off, you hoser.
Yeah.
That's an old reference right there, the McKenzie brothers. I also want to ask Tausch, what does he think of the way we draw out into, 3-day period? The NFL schedule release. I mean, we know the opponents. We even know where the games are being played for the vast majority of the games. Not all, but for the vast majority of the games.
Depends
we know
if you listen to Ben Brust Reporter.
But we got games being announced today. We got them being announced tomorrow. We got some being announced on Wednesday morning. And then finally, Wednesday evening, the schedule will come out in full. I want to discuss a little bit about how they milk this in the National Football League. That and some Taylor Elgersma by request are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet, the name you can trust. There's nothing like a great summer road trip. And whether you're traveling around the state or around the country, it's the time of year to start thinking about your plans to hit the road for a new adventure in the coming months. And with all the things to consider, what to do, how to get there, where you'll stay, the absolute last thing you want to worry about for a summer road trip is car trouble. Make sure your vehicle is ready to take on every potential challenge thanks to the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up, check the battery, check your tires, change the oil, and make sure all the inner workings of your vehicle are in tip-top shape so you can focus on fun and not finding maintenance help during your summer road trip this year. Call Zimbrick Chevrolet to schedule an appointment with their incredible service team or check out their services and schedule an appointment online at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. National and local awards proving Siding Unlimited will deliver peace of mind. Looking for inspiration to replace your windows, roofing, siding, and doors? Stop by our amazing showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road in Madison. And definitely check out sidingunlimited.com. We are Siding Unlimited.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Spring is here. Time to get growing at Felly's Flowers and Greenhouse. Felly's has everything you need to bring your garden to life, including the largest selection of locally grown annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, and custom hanging baskets. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, Felly's Greenhouse in Fitchburg has the best selection to make your garden bloom. Proudly voted Best of Madison, choose Felly's Flowers as your go-to garden destination. Visit us today and grow with Felly's.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Dancing on the edge, about to take it too far. It's messing with my head, how I mess with your heart. If you wake up in your bed, alone in the dark, I'm sorry. Gotta leave before you love me. Leave before you love me.
Couple of things from the Wilde and Tausch Twitter feed. One which will allow me to read on the radio, because this guy is a guy that we've been interested in on this program, even if we don't think the Packers or don't know if the Packers are interested in him. Trey Hendrickson's statement today to ESPN, per Adam Schefter. No communication has taken place between my camp and the organization, meaning the Bengals organization, post-draft. The offers, contract offers, I assume is what he means, prior to the draft did not reflect the vision we shared and were promised last offseason if I continued to play at a high level. Coaches are aware of these past conversations. Rather than using collaboration to get us to a point to bring me home to the team, they are no longer communicating. I have been eagerly awaiting a resolution of this situation, but that's hard to do when there is no discussion and an evident lack of interest in reaching mutual goals.
Oh, snap.
It's a lot of words. Will any of them lead to Trey Hendrickson being a Green Bay Packer?
Well, I would say it's more likely that happens than it was 5 minutes ago before I saw that statement. Okay. Now, do I think the bottom line is Trey Hendrickson wants a big boy deal?
He does, and he's 30 years old.
Without having a big boy deal, I don't think he's going to be that interested in going anywhere. Do the Packers typically pay 30-year-old plus guys $35 million plus? The answer is no, they don't. No. And then on top of that, give up a premium draft pick? No, they don't. So this would be more along the trade deadline type deal, rent a player type of deal. And it doesn't sound like Trey Hendrickson's all that interested in playing anywhere at this price point. So the Bengals, they went and spent big on their wide receivers. Their defense stunk last year.
Indeed.
Whether or not they figure something out, I would be very, very surprised if Brian Gutekunst looks at this and says, all right, I'll give up a premium pick and I want to pay Trey Hendrickson a big boy deal that he deserves and that he wants, when he has not shown that inkling really ever. So, no. To put a bow on it, it makes you feel like there's more of a chance because Cincinnati is not showing any interest in doing it, but I don't see this as a Gutekunst move.
A chance to have a chance at a chance. Secondly, the poll question, if Giannis were to leave the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason, who would you be most upset with? Currently, the Bucks leading the balloting at 49.7% of the vote. I won't be upset is second at 44.5% of the vote, which means that 5.8% voted a Giannis. That's not very many.
It's very low.
Very low.
And it shouldn't be very. That's about where it should be.
Okay.
This isn't going to be on Giannis.
You're just being Giannis with us.
I think Giannis, in his heart of hearts, would love to stay and finish his career in Milwaukee if he sees any pathway back to winning at a big level. I don't know where he's going to find that pathway, and that's up to the organization to try and find that. But I think in his heart of hearts, I think he's comfortable and he likes it here. And especially if Governor Evers gives him that tax exemption on the state income, I think that is a sprinkler that we can all get on board with. I do.
We can discuss that during our next match at the Pickler between the governor and his wife and you and Jesse, since you don't want me as your partner. Quickly.
Sounds like you've become a heck of a tennis player in the last 3 weeks.
It has been really fun. I'm excited. Sid's got another match tomorrow. It's her last match of the season, and it has been a revelation. It's been really fun, and I've enjoyed playing with her. Tony is in the YouTube comments. He's actually supportive of trivia.
Most people are.
He's also, unlike many, curious about what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. But most importantly, Tony had a rough night at the local, I'm not sure which casino he was at. I know he was very interested in our trip to Rockford. I don't think he road tripped all the way to Rockford.
June 18th. Meet us there.
He said he had
57 minutes door to door.
Depending on which door you have.
And that's with Jesse. That's with Jesse driving, too, FYI. No offense, Jesse.
Why are you toasting? That sends totally the wrong
I
message.
don't know.
Well, we're talking about you driving.
None taken. No offense.
Right, anyway, back to Tony. After a terrible session at my casino last night, I stopped at Quick Trip in Hales Corners at 2:30 in the morning, got sandwiches and boneless chicken tenders, and now, as he listens to our show, hey, Tausch, I'm having leftover boneless chicken tenders for breakfast this morning.
Let's go.
Quick Trip.
Let's go. Yeah, I still want to see someone, and maybe it'll be me. Maybe I need to go and do this. I think you can get 4 full meals for $4 out of that rotisserie
out of one chicken.
I do.
Even for a heavy-set fella like yourself.
Well, yes, I do think so. Again, soup is going to have to be one of the meals. Soup will have to be one. And then I think you could definitely
and a chicken for real mixed in with
maybe
Snickers.
And then there's certain reporters who finish the chicken and say, what else you got?
Well, I think you could do a buffalo chicken dip. So you have your normal chicken meal.
That's
where you
not
just
a meal.
rip the chicken off the bone, you throw some mashed potatoes down, that's a meal. Bam. That's 1. The soup, bam. 2. Buffalo chicken dip, bam. That's 3. And then I think you go with your soup. Or you got your enchilada. Those are your 4 that I would recommend.
How many soups can be a meal?
Buffalo chicken dip is not a meal.
No. Don't you have to do a little sandwich? You get the quickery bread for 99 cents.
Okay. I'm open to suggestions here, fellas. Jesse, if
though?
you decided, you told Becca, hey, I got us covered for the week. Can you pull off a 4-day work week, right? Because you don't usually work on Fridays. 4-day work week. You go, can you get to Thursday making a dinner with this rotisserie chicken?
Doesn't Quick Trip want you to come in more often as opposed to trying to make your chicken last all week?
I think they want both. I think they want to feel like you're getting a great value, and you are.
So is
$6.99 for a rotisserie chicken?
Is the challenge now 4 meals or 4 days of food from just the chicken?
And
4
only
meals.
one chicken? That's a lot of heavy lifting for one chicken.
4 meals.
We'll try it at some point.
No, you won't.
Yeah, we will. I'll get Becca to sign
Musty
up for
Mac
it.
night
Yeah, we can
with
do
a
it.
tiny little bit of
That's
chicken
another one you can do. Make
mixed
some
in to
pasta,
count it.
throw some chicken in the pasta, a little cream sauce.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
All right. I'm just happy that Tony is so loyal to the show and loyal to Quick Trip, even after a tough night at the local casino. Whoa Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6 and follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions presented by Siding Unlimited. Trust Siding Unlimited with your next window and door project.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's your Green Bay football buddy John Kuhn here, reminding you to buckle up for safety whenever you get in your vehicle. Whether you're driving to work, school, shopping, or to catch the big game, remember, click it or ticket. Buckling up saves lives. Every trip, every time. Don't risk it, guys. It's not worth the ticket or the danger. Click it or ticket. 0 in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Brought to you by Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buck and Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buck and Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buck and Honeys.
Swing into the Bridges for the Ryder Cup Scramble. On Sunday, June 1st, play a 2- or 4-person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes of golf with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. During every Brewers home game at American Family Field throughout the 2025 season, fans will have the chance to win a 2025 Land Cruiser, courtesy of your Wisconsin Toyota dealers. Visit brewers.com/Toyota to enter. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Ride the revolution. Cycle Nation is coming back to Madison. Join the American Stroke Association and the American Heart Association at the Sylvie on Wednesday, May 21st as we pedal for a purpose. Teams can join the movement as we raise funds and heartbeats to end strokes and save lives. It's all happening on Wednesday, May 21st at the Sylvie. Jim, Matt, and Molly will be there, and we hope you'll sign up too. Visit cyclenation.org/Madison and register today. Locally sponsored by Carbon World Health and ESPN Madison.
This is our crew.
Ground ball is short. Ortiz gobbles it up, throws to first in time, and Nick Mears pulls the magic act.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball, 100.5 ESPN.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day. So let it get away on the road.
It is time for Won't Ellie.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocca's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
End of an era in the National Football League over the weekend, guys. Former New Orleans Saints quarterback Derek Carr announcing
the guy you wanted the pack to trade for.
Announcing his retirement after 11 seasons in the National Football League. A career record
You
of...
want to make a...
Go ahead.
You want to make a friendly wager, Jesse, that you can get 5 meals out of rotisserie chicken, or Derek Carr's not going to stay retired?
Interesting. I think he's going to stay retired because, as in this report from over the weekend, his retirement ends, quote, a month of uncertainty about his future due to a right shoulder injury in his throwing arm. News of Carr's injury was made public in early April before the beginning of the team's offseason workout program, but Carr and the Saints had been publicly quiet about the details of it until Saturday. Goes on to say that it's going to impact how well he can throw the football, like, forever.
Yeah, he's cooked.
Strength of arm is never going to come back to what it was. So I think once you get to that point as a quarterback of his stature, you say, no thanks.
You guys are cute. You guys are cute. This was, yes,
condescending
you could say all
Tausch
that.
time.
No, this was financial, and you guys know it. There was a battle going on between a $10 million roster bonus, $30 million in guarantees, whether or not they're going to come after old signing bonus. They didn't want Derek Carr back. Derek Carr didn't want to be there. They needed to figure it out. Yes, am I saying that he doesn't have a shoulder injury? Of course he does. Do I think that this is it for Derek Carr? No. I think he's out this season. I think he makes a comeback. And I will be patiently awaiting when that happens. Y'all saying, dang it, old T.
Right
You're
again.
Right again.
I'll make that wager.
Okay.
Let's be honest here. Your track record on diagnosing what may or may not be going on with Derek Carr is spotty at best.
So play the hypothetical with me here.
I'd love to.
Where would we be today if, 3 years ago, the Packers trade, I don't even remember who was on the team that I was wanting to trade. Was it Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders for Derek Carr and a first or 2 firsts? And then
I don't remember.
And then we keep,
I don't know. It was your idea.
Because the whole thing was Devontae was going to stay in Green Bay. So it was before the Devontae Adams trade. So Devontae stays in Green Bay. The Packers send Aaron Rodgers, coming off an MVP season, to the Raiders for Derek Carr and 2 firsts. Jordan Love moves on to the Colts or wherever he goes next. Derek Carr, the Packers draft another quarterback sometime in the last couple of years that they're developing to potentially take over for Carr, should he, retire. Would the Packers be in a better place with more postseason success than they were than they are now?
No. Thank God you're not the general manager.
But Devontae would still be here. I'm curious if I may interject into Whoa Nelly briefly. You guys drove down, Jesse driving Miss Daisy to Rockford. I filled out all of the Illinois tollway information, put in my license plate, my vehicle, and everything else. I still don't have any tolls to pay. Should I be concerned? Because I went through the drive-through and then we'll bill you later. Is that what you guys did? Did you get billed already, Jesse?
I haven't looked, which Becca would yell at me because she always says I should pay it the second I get back because I've forgotten.
Because otherwise you forget. That's what I tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
Becca with good advice there.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to forget about this, and suddenly I'm going to have a bill from them.
It might
that
show
was
up
Thursday.
It might show up granted, I don't have the best history, just like Derek Carr predictions of paying my tolls when I get back from Illinois. I think it might show up 7 days later. I think you're good. You'll be all right. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you know when mine show up. How about that? We're in this together.
Thank you for your service, even though you just admitted you don't pay attention, so I should be concerned.
Yep.
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly. How do they identify, if you block your license plate, how do they identify your car?
Well, I don't think they can.
Yeah,
I think that's why you're not supposed to have
illegal.
those things on there.
Have what things on there?
Those little blocker things that cover up the...
Well, what if you put LAF, license applied for, on there?
Thanks
we used to do
for
with our
explaining
mopeds.
what that stands for.
I mean, how do they identify
We used to do
you?
that for our mopeds back in the day. We just slap an LAF on the back of it, and everybody
back in
just said,
college?
"Oh, those boys are applied for their license. They're good.
Nelly.
They're good."
What did Chili say about that?
Yeah, you ended up getting tickets not applied for.
Whoa, Nelly. Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Nelly.
Becca's friend, Heather, went to her cousin's graduation at the University of Wisconsin-Madison over the weekend at Camp Randall Stadium.
What a madhouse this weekend was down there.
Oh, yeah. Graduation weekend is always the worst in downtown Madison to try and drive
weekend.
around.
Oh,
Yeah,
can
there's
we
that too.
please? Can we please split prom weekends and graduation weekends up in the greater Dane County community? What are we doing? Split it up. Come on.
Well,
and Mother's Day? You want to you want to stimulate the economy in the greater area. Have different weekends. Don't pile it all into one weekend. Now, what are we doing here?
You're limited. Like college graduation has to take place a certain time of the year.
Put prom in April. Let's put prom in April.
But then it's not the end of the year.
What's the harm in that?
You got 3 more months before school gets out if you put prom too early.
Don't. What world are you living in? School's out first
week
of June.
You got spring break, so you can't do prom over spring break.
Is spring break's in April? No, it's not. It's not.
Whoa, Nelly! As much as I would love to entertain
Jason,
this,
you had 72 things. You had 72 things shoved into this weekend. Maybe put graduation next weekend after Mother's Day. What? Now all of a sudden these kids get out like it's the first week in May. All right, get out of here. Send them home before Memorial Day. Finals are the weekend before Memorial Day. You got Mother's Day before that. You got prom before that. Hey, everything's solved. You're welcome, Dane County and every other area of town.
Because Tausch
you
was
just solved all the
inconvenienced by
no,
the trap.
Then everyone's doing.
No, I wasn't even inconvenienced.
You want everybody
it was a
studying
madhouse,
and doing finals over Mother's Day weekend? They're not even going to have time to go see their moms and say Happy Mother's Day and go to dinner. They're going to be studying.
Their moms want them to do well in school. That's what they want.
Okay, I'm not sure if this is all accurate. First of all, the date today is Monday, May 12th. I feel like graduation for the University of Wisconsin is always in the mid-teens of May.
It's usually Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
It's usually the same weekend.
Now, now to your points, if I'm...
Do it the week before Memorial Day.
How about the high schools just do prom 1 week later?
No, you do prom earlier.
Why can't prom go next week? Yeah. Put prom the week before Memorial Day.
Who do you think you are, dictating prom?
In fact, you know what they could do? They could put prom on Memorial Day weekend, and then you get an extra day to sleep before you go back to school for the home stretch.
No.
Well, Tausch has spoken on this matter.
Why not?
We're done.
Memorial Day needs to... Memorial Day, I think, gets poo-pooed a little bit anyway. So, no, we're not messing with Memorial Day. I just gave you the solution. Kids should be in school another week. It's fine. Everything will be fine. Get them out before Memorial Day so they can be home for Memorial Day weekend with their friends and family. Prom is the last weekend in April. Everything else gets shifted. Now you're getting bing, bang, boom for these restaurants and all these. You're not jamming everybody in. Everybody is going to it's going to just be that much more of a boom for all these restaurants and hoteliers.
Okay, so we have a good friend of the show.
Hoteliers.
Let's ask Tommy over at Buck
You
and
know
Honey's.
I'm right, guys. You know I'm right.
I don't think you're right about. I think you could just move prom back a week.
Yeah. You know what? You know what? Let's get every NFL. Let's just shove everything into just Sundays then. We don't spread anything out anymore, Jason.
Who said
That's what
anything
this is.
about a Sunday being when the prom was?
No, I'm talking about NFL schedule. No more games except for Sunday. And no windows. Keep it all jammed into one window because that will maximize your revenue. Everybody should start looking at how the NFL does it and say,
you're right.
Pretty good.
Thursday night prom is the way to go here.
Thursday night.
Don't be dumb, now. Jesse. Don't
prom
do
video.
that.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Jesse.
Thursday night
Don't
prom.
do that.
Give everyone off of school on a Friday in April. I'm in. Yep.
Get out of here.
Save some money. Event space cheaper on Thursdays.
We just moved prom. That's all you needed to do here. You want to move prom. You want to move graduation. All for Mother's Day. How was Diane for Mother's Day, by the way?
I think Mother's Day got poo-pooed a little bit this year because of all this other stuff.
Mother's Day has a tough draw with graduation and proms. Yeah, Tausch is
Move
right.
all of them.
Neither of which
Move 'em.
Tausch had.
Move all of them.
All you had was Mother's Day. You didn't have
it's not about
a graduation.
Jason. It's not
you
about
didn't
me. It's for the
have
rest.
A prom,
Jason.
Tausch?
It's all for the It's for the restaurateurs and the hoteliers and all of the businesses. you get to do everything. And if you are so fortunate that you're tied up with a Mother's Day and you have a graduation and you have a kid going to prom, now you're shoving everything into one day. You can spread it out over 3 weeks and maximize the love of your family.
No one
you
wants
get a
to move
maximization
prom
for
to April.
You get a maximization of prom, hoteliers, restaurateurs, the whole bit. Everybody
Please
wins.
Stop saying
Tell me why I'm crazy.
hoteliers.
I want more
Would
of
you
it.
go eat an enchilada on the peninsula?
Kayla in Sun Prairie asked a great question on the Carbless talk and text line. Tausch, would you go to the Sun Prairie school board meeting to pitch this idea? And can we live stream that on basic
here we
cable
go.
somewhere?
How much do you care? How much do you really care?
Can we get Tausch in front of the school board pitching Thursday night April prom?
Also, I
will pitch. No. I will pitch. I will pitch our Chancellor Mnuchin on the graduation being the week before Memorial Day. I'll do that for certain.
Also, a few people have commented that if you would have run for governor and won when they were trying to draft you to do so, you could be the person who tells Giannis that he doesn't have to pay income taxes
fixing prom.
if he stays
I would
with
accept,
the Bucks.
Yeah.
If I ever ran for governor, and if it did it soon, Giannis's exemption of tax status would be at the top of my list. Yep.
What party would you
and
run
then we'd
under?
move prom, graduation, and everything.
Whoa, Nelly!
Because we want to help the hoteliers and the restaurateurs.
All right, we need to go. We need to wrap up the show, and we'll do it next. Oh, my God. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Road to success. Luke Fickell's Wisconsin Star not the best based off the win-loss column, but Colts GM and former Badger Chris Ballard arguing it's about big picture wins. Ballard's supporting words during his time on the huddle with Barry Alvarez.
I thought he did an unbelievable job at Cincinnati. They were disciplined, they were tough, and they were edgy hungry. I believe in Luke. I think he's an outstanding coach, and he is exactly what the university needs, and he will have big success.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on social media for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. Spring Vintage Weekend with the SVRA is up next on May 16th through the 18th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Make sure to come out to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. You know they got the best-kept secret happy hour in the Madison area with the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour. Myself, along with Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown of Jim, Matt, and Molly, will be out at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse before the Brewers game on Tuesday, May 13th. Come out, enjoy the show, and maybe watch a little bit of Brewers with us afterward. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton on Tuesday, May 13th.
We're on the Bucks.
This is the greatest player this franchise has had since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
And now they might be in a position where they're forced to deal him away.
Madison's home of the Bucks. 100.5 ESPN.
The last word goes to Erica on the Carbless Talk and text line via Jesse.
April's a little cold for prom, Tausch. Hard to wear a pretty dress while needing a winter coat.
He don't care. Heavy-set fella don't care.
To which I would say May is a little warm for the fellas wearing their full suits.
No, it's not.
Burn. And you don't know what, and Erica's right, you don't know what April's bringing. And it's the end of April.
April showers bring May flowers.
April could have snowstorms.
You're planting gardens. Big Garden's excited about late April.
All right. I'm just going to say this. You were a lot today.
Great idea.
You were a lot today. But in a good way, mostly.
What does that mean?
You know what it means.
You're going to
You
give
just
up
don't
your
like the
Peacock stance
hoteliers
over Michael
and the
Jordan.
gardeners.
Yes. I've taken this stand, and now Michael Jordan is occasionally going to appear on Peacock, and I'm signing up. That's it for us today. I'm on my way to Lambeau to talk to the coordinators. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full